There is a company called Gemini Replacements, and this company specializes in helping people who want to kill themselves, but make sure their families don't suffer in the process. They do this by creating a replica of you, and these robots are extremely accurate from the person that they are mimicking. In fact, it's impossible to tell the difference between them and a real person. But there is a catch. Once the replacement is purchased, you can't go back, and that replacement will replace you. I found this out the hard way. So let me start from the beginning. I met Anne in college, and we got married 2 years after we graduated. And me and Anne were the perfect couple. Then, 2 years into our relationship, we had a son named Michael. He's now 18, by the way, and we were a happy family, but unfortunately, my wife, Anne, got breast cancer. And when I went to the hospital, the doctors told me that Anne was about to die in 2 weeks. That broke me so much that I walked out of that room, I went up the stairs, and as I was at the top of the building, I was about to jump off the ledge, meeting my doom on the hard pavement below. But then my son called. He sounded just as distressed as I was in the moment, saying, "Mom, is Mom gonna die?" And I realized that if I were to jump off this building now, I would ruin his life just as much as this is ruining my life. So I left the hospital building. Then 1 week later, I was back at the hospital and I saw Anne was getting worser by the second. It got so unbearable that I left the hospital and decided to distract myself by using my phone. When I saw a strange ad for a company I've never heard of called Gemini Replacements, I clicked on it and it appeared to be the solution to my dilemma. It was a company that once you die, they will replace you with a robot. I called the company and was greeted by this friendly, feminine sounding woman, and she told me that I had to fill out a survey first before my replacement would arrive. So I filled it out. It was a personality test, so I could more accurately create the replacement, and I ordered it on the day that my wife was supposed to die. Then 1 week later, I bought myself a shotgun. I was at home in the living room, about to blow my brains out, and just as I was about to pull the trigger, I got a call from my wife. She sounded as joyful as if she won the lottery. She was telling me that a miracle occurred and she was going to survive breast cancer. I put the shotgun down on my lap. I then called Gemini Replacements and told them to cancel my order, but the woman who was on the phone last time with me sounded a lot less friendly and more irritated and pissed off at me. She said, "I'm sorry, but that's against store policy." I then told her I didn't want to kill myself anymore, but then she said, "You're gonna die either way," before she then hanged up. And I was speechless at this whole thing. And just as I was gathering up all my thoughts, I heard loud knocking at my front door. It was my replacement. I looked through the frosted door window and I saw a blurry silhouette of me looking straight at me. After a few minutes, my replacement started ramming at my door, trying to break in. I knew that I had to run the hell away from this thing, so I grabbed my shotgun and bolted towards the backyard door. And after I got there, my replacement broke down my door and was now coming right at me. I managed to escape by jumping over my and my neighbor's fence, and I ran straight towards his car, and just as I expected, it was locked. So without any time to spare, I shot his window, and I hotwired his car. And when I started the car, I drove that thing as fast as it could go. But unfortunately, my replacement stole my car, and that car was far faster than what my neighbors had. So I called the police and tried to explain what is happening to me, but unfortunately they wouldn't believe me. I wouldn't believe this either if it weren't really happening. At that moment, I knew I was screwed. I was running away from something that will eventually get me. Nothing will save me. After the police hanged up, my doppelganger just straight up rammed into my car. It started trying to push it into a lamppost in order to crash me. I felt like I was about to die, but luckily, a semi-truck totaled the car I owned, killing the replacement and giving me hope that maybe this whole ordeal is over. Maybe the worst is behind me. But then I got a call from Gemini Replacements. It was from the same woman, but now she sounded like she wants to kill me herself. And she yelled at me, "Do you think you're safe from this? Well, guess what? We'll keep making more replicas of you until one of them will finally replace you." After she hanged up, I called my son Michael. I told him about this horrible ordeal I am in, and Michael sounded a lot more scared and disturbed than when my wife was having breast cancer. He was yelling and sobbing at me. "Why would you do this, Dad? Why would you do this? This was a bad idea. Why did you do this?" I knew Michael was right about this whole ordeal. This was a bad idea from the start. I shouldn't have at all tried to kill myself. Then I told Michael, if you ever see me again, that's not the real me, that's my replacement. And don't tell anyone that you know that that's not me. Then Michael, sounding slightly more calm, said, I understand. I told Michael that even when I'm gone, you'll always be my son, and I will always love you. Michael then said to me, I love you too, Dad. Right now, I'm currently writing this on the road. I need to get a new car soon because the one I'm in was trashed by the semi-truck as well, and the engine was almost about to give up. Here's some advice I should probably give you. If you ever feel like killing yourself, just don't. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Because if I didn't give up, I wouldn't be in this horror ordeal, and I would still be able to see my wife and son again. This will probably be the last time anyone's seen the real me, so thank you for finding this, and goodbye.